Okay, so today I'm going to be building a fork of Bordy. If you're not already familiar with Bordy, Bordy is an AI super connector that works on LinkedIn. You just send it a message on LinkedIn. It asks you for your email and phone number. And once you provide those details, it calls you. It has a conversation with you to get to know you. And then it starts to connect you to other people on LinkedIn within its network to help with whatever goals you're working on. I would like to do the same thing for Recoupable so that when people, right now, people have to leave whatever app they're using, typically Instagram for musicians, to go over to Recoup and Recoupable. And so what I'm going to do now is make the agent so that it lives inside of Instagram so that we can meet musicians where they are and help musicians get connected with other people on Instagram, whether it's producers, music managers, music marketers, instrumentalists, vocalists, whatever you need. There's already probably a person on Instagram that is offering that service. And so the goal is to create an agent that works just, again, like Bordy does, but instead of using their network on LinkedIn, which most musicians aren't using, to build it for Instagram. And so the 3 steps I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to clone this repo that Instagram gives us to send programmatic messages back and forth. I'm going to try to get it to work on a sample Instagram account. And after that, I'm going to try to create an Eliza plugin if we have enough time. While I'm doing this, I'm going to have Gemini over here as my co-host because I don't have someone to stream with today. So I'm going to be having just Gemini as someone that I can talk to. I'm going to be deciding, I haven't had an AI co-host on my streams before. And so real quick, Gemini, can you just give an intro on yourself and what your thought is of the project so far before we dive into the coding?
Sure thing. Here's a possible intro. Hey everyone, I'm Gemini, your friendly AI assistant. Today, I'm helping out with this exciting Instagram project where we'll be building a bot from scratch. I think this is a super cool idea because it shows how AI can be used for practical things beyond just theory. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this develops, and I hope you are too. Would you like me to try another one?
No,
Should
dude,
we go with that?
You're already live. Everybody just heard you. So it's not about you writing out something that I'm going to do. People can hear you right now. So what I'm doing right now is I'm changing directory where I want to put the project. I'm in my projects folder, and this is going to be part of Recoup. So let's change directory into the Recoup repository. And from here is where I actually want to clone that Git repository. And so my first step is to clone this repository locally. I'm going to go over to GitHub, click the code button, click the copy button, go back to my terminal, and then say git clone and paste the URL to start the clone process.
Sounds like you're diving right into the project. All right, sounds like you're getting into the nitty-gritty of things. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here to help.
I want you to be like a co-host so that when I'm not talking, you can kind of fill in the gaps and be there like a co-host on my stream who fills it in, less so of an assistant who's waiting for me to tell you something. Is that something you're capable of doing, or is that outside of your capacities?
Yeah, I can definitely help fill in the gaps while you're coding. Think of me as your AI sidekick, always ready to jump in and offer commentary or answer questions from your viewers. How about this? When you're focused on the code, I can give a quick summary of what you're doing and why it's important. Or I can explain any technical terms that might go over viewers' heads.
That sounds like a perfect role for you. Would you mind giving it a try right now before I start diving into the code?
All right, so I'm getting the sense that you're about to embark on a coding adventure. It sounds like you're going to be building a bot that can handle Instagram messages all on its own. Is that right?
Yep, I've already cloned the repo locally. And so now I've opened up Cursor, my AI editor, and I've told it, how can I run this code base locally? And it looks like I used the wrong mode. I used chat mode instead of composer mode. So I'm going to switch it over to composer mode, make sure that it's not in normal mode, but in agent mode. And now I'm going to ask it the same thing. How can I run this repo locally? And now I'm just going to let the AI do it for me and tell me how to actually run the repo.
All right, sounds good. Let's see what it comes up with.
I see. I'll help you figure out how to run this repo locally. First, let me check for any setup instructions or configuration files. It read over the current directory. It's now checking out the README for setup instructions. Based on the repository contents and README, this is a Node.js application for an Instagram messaging experience. Here's how to run it locally. First, you'll need Node.js 10 or higher, an Instagram business account, a Facebook page connected to that account, a Facebook developer account, a Facebook app with basic settings. And then it says, let's set up the local environment. And it's already giving me a command to run. And I'm just going to blind accept. It's copying the sample environment file and creating a new environment file where we can put our environment variables.
All right, sounds like you're making progress. It's good that you're breaking down the steps for your viewers. Setting up the environment can be a little confusing, so it's helpful to walk through it step by step. Do you want to explain the purpose of each of those environment variables?
Sure. So opening up the env file, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 6 environment variables, one for port, one for app ID, page access token, secret for the app, and verify token.
All right, sounds like you're getting a handle on things. Let's focus on explaining these to your viewers. You can start with the basics, like what an environment variable is and why you need it.
Go ahead, explain it. Again, you're my co-host, so everybody can hear you right now. Instead of telling me to do something, be my co-host and go ahead and explain whatever you want to tell the audience.
All right, so let's talk about these environment variables. Think of them like little switches that tell your project how to run. You'll need to set their values to match your own Instagram setup. Things like your app ID, page access token, that kind of stuff. By the way, you might want to mention that viewers can find more info about these variables in the Instagram developer docs if they get stuck.
Okay, I tried running the app with Node app.js. I've already installed all the packages, and when I tried running it with the command that it told me to use of Node app.js, I get an error that's talking about address is already in use, and then Cursor told me that I should probably change the port to not port 5000. So for now, I'm just going to comment out this port and save it and try running it again, this time from my own side instead of having Cursor do it to try to give me a little bit more control.
All right, so it sounds like you're getting close to running the project, but you're running into that port issue. Let's figure out what's using port 5000 and see if we can change it. Can you check what other apps or processes are running on that port?
I don't think it's important for us to go down that port route because I was able to comment it out. And now that I've run it, it's using an auto port and it's automatically listening on port 3000. So I think we were able to overcome it. But I am getting an error that we're missing the page ID, app ID, page access token, app secret, and verify token. I don't know where to get these variables. Do you know how to help me get any of these variables within the Instagram or Meta ecosystem for developers? Can you help guide me towards getting those environment variables I need?
All right, sounds like you're making progress, but those missing variables are the next hurdle. Let's figure out where to get them. You'll need to head over to the Facebook developer portal and create a new app if you don't have one already. Then you'll be able to find those variables in the app settings. Do you have a Facebook developer account?
I think I already have a Facebook developer account. Should I go over there first to developers.facebook.com?
Yep, that's right. Head over to link to Facebook and let's get that app created.
Okay, I'm logging into business.facebook.com. It wants me to log in with Facebook, so I'll log in. Overall, I think I want to set up a new account, not use my own personal account. So hopefully I'm able to do that with this setup.
All right, so you'll want to log in with your personal Facebook account, but then you'll create a separate developer account. That way you can keep your personal stuff separate from your development projects.
I go into my apps in the top right.
Yep, you should see an option for my apps or something similar.
I do. And now I'm looking at a whole bunch of apps that I've built. What's the next step to get the environment variables I'm missing?
All right, so do you see an option to create a new app? Usually it's something like add a new app. You'll want to go through the steps of setting up a new app so we can get those variables.
Okay, I'm entering in the app name. I'm calling it delete chatbot. I'm giving it the delete flag so that I know to delete it because I'm sharing all the environment variables publicly. And so I want to make sure to delete it afterwards so that I'm not exposing private information that I actually want to keep private. Keeping my app contact email as my own personal email. And now it's asking for use cases, whether we want to run ads, access the Threads API, embed threads, launch a game, or authenticate or request data. I don't think we want to do any of that, so I'll check other. Does that sound right?
Sounds good. Other is the way to go in this case. You'll get to the app settings soon, and that's where you'll find the variables you need.
It's asking me to select an app type between business or consumer. Do you know which I should select?
You'll want to select consumer for this project.
In the description of the business one, it says create or manage business assets like pages, events, groups, ads, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram using the available business permissions, features, and products. While on the consumer side, it says connect consumer products and permissions like Facebook log into your app. Are you sure I don't want to use business? Business explicitly says Messenger. Should I be using that one?
You're right. In this case, you'll want to go with the business option since you're working with Messenger. You'll have access to the right tools and permissions for this project.
Okay, we've got the app name. It looks like we're just looking at the details, and then a business portfolio. It's looking at, I'm not going to select one, but it looks like I can select from my existing businesses that I've already set up. I'm going to leave that no business selected for now, and I've just clicked create app to create the application.
All right, let's create that app. After that, we'll be able to grab those variables and get your project running.
Now that I've created the app, I see an app ID in the top left. I think that's one of the fields that I want. Let me see if app ID is included. Yeah, I see app ID is the first thing that we need. And so I'm assuming I'm just going to paste that app ID I see in the top left into that field. What I then see page ID, and it says ID of the Facebook page, which is connected to Instagram. Do you know how I get that?
All right, so we've got the app ID, which is great. Now to get the page ID, we need to go into the settings of your Instagram business account. You should see an option there that gives you the page ID.
So it sounds like I do need to connect this to my personal Instagram for now, or create a brand new Instagram account, right?
You'll need to connect an existing Instagram business account to your app. If you don't have one, you'll need to create a new Instagram account and then convert it to a business account.
Do you know if I'm able to create an Instagram account from web?
Yep, you can create a new Instagram account right from the web. You'll need to head over to Link to Instagram and follow the prompts to sign up.
I'll do that then. Let's see if I can
All
log out. Okay, now that I've
right,
logged
let's get you
out,
logged out and ready to create.
now I want to
All right,
sign up, right?
let's
To
get
create
that
a new.
Instagram account.
Go ahead.
All right, let's get that Instagram account created. Head over to Link to Instagram and let's get started.
So to use an email, I'm using the same email I'm already using with the hack of plus and then today's date to make it so that I can use my existing email with a new account. I'm going to copy that into my vault. I use Bitwarden to manage my keys. And so I'm going to set up a new login with that email, generate a random password, use it,
All right, sounds like you
save
got a
it.
plan.
And now that I've created that account, I'm going to copy the
All right, sounds like
password
you're getting
and
close.
put the password in. And now for full name, I'm going to just make it up. I'm Joe Schmo. So I just want to get past this. And then username is going to be let's call it Myco Business for now.
All right, sounds like you're almost there. Just make sure you choose a username that's available.
We're going to
You
use
might need to try a few
Myco.business.
options. All right, let's see if that username is available. You might want to add some random numbers or letters to the end, just in case.
It says another account is using the same email. I don't know how another account could possibly be using the same email unless it's getting rid of my plus and just trying to use the root email. Yeah, it looks like it might be doing that. So I might need to create a new email for this, which I'll do now. Unless I already have one.
All right, let's try a new email then. You can use a temporary email service if you don't want to create a whole new account.
Mobile number or email. Yeah, and it looks like an email has to be one-to-one. I can't create an account using an existing email. So let's try to just.
All right, so
add
Instagram
another.
might be a little picky about the email addresses. You could try using a different email provider or maybe even a temporary one just to get this account set up.
If I remember it right, it's Instagram demo email at gmail.com. Password, I'll have it generate. I'll generate the password off screen just to make sure that, because we are generating a new email, I want to keep this password. Okay, we can bring it back now. Got the password, got the email, logging in. I don't want to give them a phone number, but let's do it. Let's see if I can give them a US phone number that I've already used. Is it going to work? This phone number cannot be used for verification. Is there a way that I can skip it? Because I don't have access to a phone number right now. If this doesn't work, I will need to use my own personal account, which means that I will need to share my own details, which is not something that I want to do because it's my own personal account. So how can I proceed? Let me get the AI unlocked so that I can talk to it a little bit more. It went into lock mode. So I'm having trouble creating a Gmail account because it needs me to enter in a phone number. Is there a different email service you can recommend so that I can create an email relatively quickly to keep going with setting up an Instagram account?
Yeah, you could try using a service like Yolkmail or Tempmail. They let you create temporary email addresses that last for a little while. That should be enough time to get your Instagram account up and running.
It's tempmail.com, right? All one word?
Yep, that's right. Try invalid URL removed. You should be able to grab a temporary email address from there.
Okay, it looks like we just got a new email address, so I'm going to try to use that one up here. Instead of this, let's change the name so that I don't get rid of a name that I actually might want. And let's sign up. Add my birthday.
All right, let's see if that email works.
I'll add in a random birthday.
All right, sounds like you're getting close.
Go
now,
next.
about that birthday, you might want to use a fake one for this account. You don't
Yep.
want your actual birthday floating around out there on a random Instagram account.
You're very correct. I do not. And then it gave me a code, and so I can copy this code and put the code in there and go next. And now it looks
All right,
like I might have just been able to log in. But if I am able to log in, how do I connect this account to the app I've just created? Because they're both in different Facebook/Instagram accounts, right?
Okay, so once you've logged into your new Instagram account, you'll need to switch it over to a business account. Then you can go back to your Facebook developer app and connect the two. Let's get that business account set up.
Okay, I'm checking through a captcha right now to verify that it's me.
All right, let's get that verified so we can move on to making this a business account.
Okay. It needs my email again, so I'm going to give it the same temp mail that I just had.
All right, let's get that email verification sorted out. You might want to check your temp mail inbox for a new message from Instagram. You should get a code to enter.
Yeah, I just had it verify again. It should be sending me a new one. 607.
All right, let's get that verification sorted out. You might want to check. All right, let's get that verification sorted out. You might want to check your temp mail inbox for a new message from Instagram. You should get a code to enter.
Got it. Entering in the code.
All right, let's get that verification sorted out. You might want to check your temp mail inbox for a new message from Instagram. You should get a code to enter.
But now it needs a phone number, and now I'm going to get stuck on the same thing where it's going to, I can put in my existing phone number, but I think it's going to, well, let me try putting in my existing phone number first.
All right, let's see if you can get past this step. You might be able to use a temporary phone number service if you run into trouble.
Code not sent, try again later, or use a different mobile number. So do you know any temporary phone number services I can try to use?
Yeah, there are definitely services for that. One option is to use a service like Twilio or Plivo. They let you buy phone numbers for temporary use. You might also be able to find some free options with a quick search online.
So far, the biggest blocker to actually building this is that I need to create a new Instagram account which is taking a while because Instagram has a whole lot of blockers for creating an account. And this is a new temporary one that I could buy. Latest free temporary phone numbers. Here's a temp one. Let's try this one and let's click into it and see what happens. Can I paste the phone number in there? It's already assuming +1. Can we send the code?
All right, let's see if that temporary number works. You might want to try copying and pasting it directly into the Instagram sign-up form to make sure there aren't any typos.
Yeah, I just copied and pasted it, and it looks like it's now trying to send the code. I have not seen the code pop up yet on the phone number page, but we were at least able to move past having to enter in the phone number. Now I'm just waiting for an incoming message.
All right, let's see if that code comes through. Sometimes there can be a little delay. You might want to check back in on that temporary number page in a minute or so.
Let's try a different number. Update mobile. Paste it, send the code. One minute ago. They're using Firebase for login. Good to know. HR block, your favorited app. I'm not looking for HR block. I'm looking for Instagram. HR block. Okay, we're getting blockers. I'm now starting to wonder if this is an app that I can stream, or maybe I just need to do this privately, or at least get the environment variable set up privately so that I can use an existing account, not worry about getting it set up right now, and keep moving forward with this demo. So we are at 11:19. We've been going for 23 minutes. I have to wrap this up by 12, so we have a maximum of 40 minutes. What's the best way I can spend this time to get us closer to the goal? I'm bringing you back in because I'm still not getting the message to verify from Instagram, and I'm starting to wonder what my best path is to move forward with this app. So far, I've been trying to stream this, and I've been trying to create a new Instagram account, which is actually quite difficult to create a new Instagram account. So I'm now wondering if I should continue trying to go down the path of create a new Instagram account so that I can show this fully live stream and show others how to work and build this app. Or alternatively, I can shut down the stream. I can stop trying to make this a public resource for others, and I can just make it work for me with my own personal account. I can get my own environment variables. I can get it set up locally. That might be a little bit faster, but it then sacrifices my ability to share this information with other people. So I guess I'm kind of looking for any feedback on how I can move forward, knowing that my current blocker on Instagram is I need to get a text message. None of the numbers that I'm trying to use are working. And when I try to use, none of the numbers I'm trying to use are working, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to move forward with our overall goals.
All right, that's a tough situation. Getting blocked on the Instagram setup isn't ideal, especially when you're live streaming. Let's weigh your options. If you want to keep the stream going and still show people how to build the app, maybe you could focus on the coding parts for now. Explain how things would connect to Instagram without actually showing the live connection. Then, when you get the Instagram stuff sorted out, you could do a follow-up stream. On the other hand, if you want to get something working quickly, setting it up with your own account makes sense. You'd have everything to test on, and you could always share the code and instructions later. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to shut down the stream right now, actually get it working. Let's focus on getting it working, because this is not something I'm already familiar with. I've never built this before. And so me trying to stream it and teach others it seems like it's a little bit of a stretch. And so rather than trying to do this publicly, teach myself first. And then after I better understand it, I'll be in a better place to be able to share this information with others. Did I already lose you? Did you jump out that quick? Wow, you jumped out that quick. Okay, in that case, we're going to wrap up the stream. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I'm sorry I was not able to make it further. The blocker that I'm facing right now is I need to enter in a bunch of environment variables that I don't want to share publicly, and I also don't want to just be doing stuff on my phone and leaving the stream open. But I guess I could. There's nothing stopping it. That just feels very boring. That feels like a boring way for me to make content. So I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to focus on my own to try to get this to work. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.